morning, students, and happy Tuesday. So today we're starting on a new operation for our algebraic equations, and today it is division. So we've been practicing a lot of multiplication and deciding what variables mean and what variables represent in our multiplication equations. So we're going to do the very same thing here for division. And over our Zoom meeting today, we will be working on this paper together with our new whiteboard program. So here, after you do your review exercises and speed drills, you'll see that the directions say equations with division may be written in two ways. So just like with the multiplication equations, sometimes you have a multiplication symbol, or sometimes you have the letter right next to the number. There are two ways to do the division equations. So we have the division symbol that you're familiar with, and also this fraction symbol. So you're very familiar with this symbol, so this is going to be easier. X divided by 2 equals 5. So as usual, we think to ourselves, what number, if you divide it by 2, gives you 5? And we probably all know that it is 10. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So we found a typo in the book. It's definitely 10. Let's go to this next one. So here we have the fraction symbol. So we have n on top of 2, and what that means is n divided by 2. So you can write it like this. N divided by 2 equals 3. So what number, if you divide it by 2, gives you 3? Well, it is 6. 6 divided by 2 equals 3, so that means that n has to equal 6. So keep in mind this one was confusing because of the book itself. N, or x in this case, equals 10. So let's do the first two sample problems and we will review them later. So here you have, for the first sample, x divided by 3 equals 4. So what number, if you divide it by 3, will give you 4? So you can either count by 3s or count by 4s, or maybe you already know it from memory. So the answer is 12. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. Now in this case, not in all, so keep that in mind, not in all, but if you're saying to yourself, what number, if I divide by 3, will give me 4, then you can just multiply 3 times 4 and it will give you 12. And in this case, x equals 12. But not all of them will you be able to multiply both numbers and get the variable. So it's important to say them out loud. Here for sample 2, we have x divided by 2 using the symbol we're very familiar with equals 4. So what number, if you divide it by 2, gives you 4? And that would be 8. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. So x equals 8. So it's the same process, only with division. And if you have any confusion, we will be going over this later. So here we have our language arts, and I have our Monday assignment here. So yesterday you didn't have a video because this was a review on parts of speech that we already did quite a few videos for. However, if you noticed yesterday that you had a hard time identifying the parts of speech in this paragraph and identifying the parts of speech in these sentences, please let me know and I would be happy to go over this review with you. But let's go on to our Tuesday work, especially that this one can be a little bit complicated. So on this sheet, we have to use these clues to solve a puzzle. And after we solve the puzzle, we're going to have a hidden message. So to be able to complete this, you have to be able to answer all of these questions. And I understand that that is actually kind of challenging because you may have to go very far back into previous units in our book. So hopefully by the time that we get to Zoom, you have seen this video, but if not, I'm going to go over it anyways. I'm going to give you a key of words, and they're not going to be in order, but at the very least, you'll be able to choose the word, the answer, from a key instead of having to go all the way back. And you may have to refer to the book for some answers, but at least you'll have some words to pick from. And then you'll be able to complete your puzzle here to decide what this code means. So what I would do is, if you're watching this video before we log on to Zoom, I would try and answer the most questions I can and then wait for the key, or you can wait and I will send it to you either through email or Zoom or both. So don't worry if you're having a hard time finding the words for numbers 1 through 31. I'm going to help you. So here we have our spelling, and yesterday for Monday you should have written the definitions for your pattern words and hopefully your vocabulary words too, to make it easier to do your Wednesday assignment. So today we're starting on bookwork, and I'm going to go over the pronunciation of our list words and then explain how to do our pattern word assignment. So our pattern words for this week are seasonal, electrical, upsetting, admitting, pardoning, happening, submitting, straightening, occurred, frightened, preferred, accustomed. Content words are insulate, blizzard, sub-zero, toboggan, hibernate, barometer, thermometer. Vocabulary words are incredible, incredulous, accumulate, and cumulative. So here for your pattern word exercise, we're still working on suffixes. And you're going to notice a few different suffixes and some letters that are either removed or added before the suffix. And what we're going to be focusing on are the final letters before our suffix. So first, notice the kinds of suffixes that we have in our pattern words. And those are AL, ED, and ING. And for this pattern word exercise in particular, what I would do first is just go ahead and circle all of the suffixes. That way you can see if there's an extra letter separating them. For example, I'm going to go ahead and circle all of the suffixes in my pattern words. So I'm going to circle all of the endings. Good. Now that I've done that, I can clearly see where my root word is and where my suffix is. So then for 1 through 5 here, you're going to write the words that double the final consonant before the suffix. So all that means is right before your suffix is that consonant doubled. So here, for example, we have seasonal, and we just have one consonant before our suffix. But if we go down to upsetting, for example, we have upset and then ing, but we have a double consonant here. They added an extra T before the suffix. So a word like that would go in numbers 1 through 5, words that double the final consonant. The rest of them, for numbers 6 through 12, are going to be words like seasonal that do not double the consonant before. And you're going to write those for numbers 6 through 12. Then the content word exercise is just as usual, using your content words and your letter hints to complete the sentences. Using the context clues and also using your spelling dictionary, always read your sentences to yourself out loud.